This week I want to talk to you about how to bust your own case. Hi, I'm Larry Kaye with ShadowAnyone.com and the creator of the Investigator's Ultimate Guide series, premium private investigator training from someone who's been there and done that. What do I mean when I say bust your own case? I mean looking at it from the other guy's perspective. So the defendant, if you're working a case, you're building a case against someone, how would that person defend against your case? Think about it. If you were in their shoes, what would you say? What would you do to unravel the case that you've built? And then you got to try to fix it. And you do this both before you start the case and even after you've collected the evidence. So afterwards, you might look at the evidence you've collected and say, how would I defend against this? And if you find weak spots in the case, even down to just the fact that the guy could lie about the evidence you've collected, go back and say, how can I shore up this evidence? How can I collect more evidence? What do I need to make my case stronger now that I've done the bulk of the work? You can do this also, again, before you start your case. Think in terms of what can the person do to defend against the case that you're building. So, for example, if you're working on a workers' compensation fraud case, think to yourself before you go out, what can this person say to unravel and undo the work that I've done? One thing they might say is, they look at the video and say, that's not me. Well, here's a case where you know that might be something they'll say ahead of time. So how do you fix that? Well, when you first arrive, you get some good establishing shots. You establish well that this is the person's home. You zoom in, you get the house numbers, the street address, you get the car in the driveway, maybe the license plate number, that you can establish this is that person's home, that is their place. And then when you see them first come out, like you would do with a lot of surveillances, and there are very few exceptions to this, almost always when you first see your subject, you're going to want to zoom in, get a decent face shot that identifies them, and then zoom back out again and kind of keep them in frame and not small. Keep them kind of maximizing the amount of screen area that they are in. You're not too worried about getting out what's in front of them or behind them. This is a general rule of thumb for doing surveillance. And so there you have this really strong identification of the person. And so you catch them some evening taking out trash cans to the curb. What else could they say to unravel your case? Well, they can say that those trash cans weren't really that heavy. It was mostly just wrapping paper from Christmas gifts. You know, the fact that you can see I had to struggle to take them to the curb really does show how injured I am. How can you defend against that if they bring that up? Well, again, thinking ahead, you bring a bathroom scale with you, 3:30 in the morning, the whole neighborhood is asleep. You go out and using the bathroom scale, you weigh those trash cans. And so now you have in your report, you have the video of the person taking them to the curb, and also you have the weight of the trash cans in there. What else might they say that would undo your case? What if you were defending against something like that? One of the things you might say is, that's me, I'm dragging trash cans to the curb, but that's video from before the doctor told me not to do that. That's video from, they may not be able to say credibly that it was last year who would be taking that video, but they can say, you know, that was before the doctor advised me. That was early on. I didn't even know how injured I was at the time. How can you establish the date, the time that you took this video? And so you want to look at how they might defeat your case and how you can build a strong case against them. I teach these things in detail in the Investigator's Ultimate Guide to Surveillance, exactly how to set up and establish all these credibility things that will that help you defer any kind of defense that they might bring up against you. But what I want you to really do, take away from this, put yourself in the other guy's shoes, say, how would I unravel this case? How would I defend against it if I had to? And then fix your case so it's super strong. This is Larry Kaye with ShadowAnyone.com. Remember, do the right thing, even if it's the hard thing.